Hey teacups, it's your girl Monica. Welcome back to the All About the Tea channel. Joining me tonight are Teacup affiliates, Plez. Hey, Plez.
Hey,
Hey, what's the lip color of the day, Plez?
well, it's Valentine's Day, so I had to go with my staple, my signature. So it is a mix of two different lipsticks, one by Dose of Colors called Berry 2, and the pink in the middle is a Wet n Wild matte liquid lipstick called Dolly Pink.
Well, you just put it all together so nicely, okay?
Thank you. That's
I
why it's the
mean,
signature, honey.
okay, okay. I mean, will I be able to buy this pretty soon? Because listen, girl, the way you put it all together is just okay. I want that. I gotta get that.
All
That's a
right
nice
now.
combination.
I'll
Ooh.
make some videos of how I put it together, and maybe in the future you speaking it from your mouth to God's ears. I'll have some of my own products to give the people.
All right, now to God be the glory. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Schoolboy, how you doing today?
Hey.
Good. Try not to freeze in the frozen tundra we got over here.
Goodness gracious. It's snowing out there in Dallas, huh?
Yeah, we're 15
Ooh.
right now. So we're going to get down to 3 tonight.
Oof.
Yeah.
Ooh, 3. Goodness gracious. It's cold out here too, Louisiana, child. I am not used to this cold weather, okay?
At all, Monica, we don't do it right when you were bringing us in. Baby, I got the text message I had been waiting on all day. No work tomorrow. Praise God. Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
Look at God.
Won't he do it? And we're off Tuesday because it's Mardi Gras.
Hey, stay hump
Okay,
day.
they still gave y'all Tuesday off, even though Mardi Gras canceled.
Well, it's a state holiday, so they can't revoke it, child. They can't revoke it.
All right.
They take away, like, we don't get President's Day and stuff that other people in the country get. We have to trade that off for Mardi Gras Day. So
Yeah. Okay. That's a good trade-off. Yeah.
Mhm.
We have the bishop in the building. Hey, Bishop.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, we're gonna get right into things. I know it's Valentine's Day, and the teacups got things to do and places to be. First and foremost, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I need you to hit that subscribe button down below. If you're already subscribed to the channel, bang that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the piping hot tea that we serve on this channel. And while you're at it, you might as well smash that like button since you're down there. It makes sense. Teacups, happy Valentine's Day, my loves. Okay, hugs and kisses and hearts to you all. On the agenda this afternoon, we are recapping Martell Holt goes off on Miss Wanda. Love and Marriage Huntsville, child. They are getting down and dirty down there. Let's get into it.
A website called All About the Tea.
She told all about the tea that during the fight.
Oh, yeah, I saw that today. Nicki Minaj's father was killed in a hit and run accident.
Oh,
Prayers go out to her and her family. Oh, goodness.
my condolences.
My condolences as well. She's, oh, goodness gracious, new grandfather and everything. So sad, so sad. All right, teacups, let's just dive right into it. Like I said, it's Valentine's Day, and listen, everybody got places to be and things to do. So the episode starts with Martell meeting with his uncle Dexter, discussing how he's ruined his marriage and how that affects his entire family, specifically his children's lives. Martell is concerned about his joint businesses with Melody, and he calls Melody sneaky, saying that Mel will try to attach her name to anything he's doing. Martell shares how his gutter reputation has now affected his 47 acres deal, and they want to cut him out of it. Let's dive into that. Plez, what were your thoughts on that scene? That was a nice shop, by the way, that Taylor shop. It was very nice. Roosevelt's, very nice.
Yes, and I am happy for once that Martell is hopefully getting clothes that actually fit. So I hope that the tailor did a good job, because I don't like that marshmallow Thomas Jefferson look that's going. I hope the tailor didn't do that. It's just he has a lot going on, but I'm glad that he's showing progress in some way, and I hope that those suits fit appropriately. Now, other than that, I was screaming at the TV last night, trash like that. That is all. That the whole show. My eyes were about to fall out of my head because they were bucked so hard. My mouth was agape pretty much the whole show, because he consistently leveled up his narcissism and his gaslighting. Just when I thought he couldn't get any lower, he kept going lower. Like, it was deplorable. The uncle seemed like he had a little sense at first. He kept, you need to take some of this yourself, Martell. But Martell refused. He just, every time he said something, it was Melody's fault. It was the developer's fault. It was everybody's fault but his own. For him to try to sit there and rewrite that narrative as if we haven't been watching for the last 2 years at his actions, for some reason he seems to think that his businesses are only being affected because of social media. Sir, you need to just own your ish.
As if he didn't give social media this situation to talk about to begin with. I mean, Bishop, sound off. What were your thoughts on that scene in the tailor shop?
Y'all gonna kill me. I was trying to catch up. So I didn't watch it.
That's all right. We gonna move right on over to Schoolboy. What were your thoughts on that scene?
What I would play is I hope that when they said that they could custom fit it to him, that they get the right sizes. Because him in these medium shirts and tight, looking like a onesie. He got a baby onesie on. He need to do better. And that brooch look, no, he looking real plantation-ish. And somebody need to let him know that's not cute, sir, with them blouses. But Martell is full of himself. You know that. And it's just every scene is everybody else's fault but his. I just don't understand. It's not my fault. And male. Like, sir, how old are you at your big age? You would think you would want to go ahead and take responsibility for your actions. Had you not been sloppy out here with your cheating, sir, you wouldn't got caught up. And also, sir, your little side piece was out here blabbing her mouth to the blogs too. So that didn't really help your case. It made your case worse. So, I don't feel sorry for him. He just realizing, it's falling apart. He's going to lose it all. And now he just losing his mind. A moment of insanity.
He losing it all. He is really losing it. He's out of control. The level of delusion is sad to watch.
Y'all, I am certain that the tailor put some snap buttons in the middle that go in your crotch on them blouses. That's why he needed a tailor. He needed that bodysuit to be snatched, honey, because he is really showing his natural behind. So he wanted to make sure he wouldn't be out here exposed.
Oh God.
Oh God. Vanessa says narcissists, brooches and ruffles.
I was wondering if it was just me with the black rhinestone encrusted brooch.
It's
too much, Martell. It's too much.
No, he's trying to get the prince on. Y'all leave him alone.
No. Okay.
You.
Oh my goodness. Marsha was showing out last night, child. He was showing out. So moving right along. We're gonna keep this thing moving. Maurice and Jalen are up next. Jalen is designing his room and they get into a little discussion about Jalen's future. Maurice wants Jalen to start making real moves now that he's about to graduate. Jalen's plan is to start flipping houses with his mother, and Maurice thinks that's a problem. Maurice feels Jalen is a little pampered and not prepared for the world and needs a solid game plan. So he goes in on him, basically. Jalen is in a good position since Kimmy paid for his college. Jalen wants Marceau to help him, be a mentor in this real estate game, but Marceau's busy. Maurice feels Jalen is not aggressive enough. He's not going for it. Plaz, what were your thoughts on that scene?
I fully understand why Kimmy has her son working. Honestly, he's like a lot of younger people that I encounter in their early 20s. They want to be a boss, but they don't want to put in the work, and they don't seem to have solid plans. Everybody just wants to be rich overnight. They want to be the CEO overnight. And my issue with him was that he did not seem to have his own focus, ambition, and drive. Maurice was absolutely right. Marcel is not going to come up to him and say, "Hey man, you want to follow me around? You want to come work for me?"
Right.
Even though he's a fraternity brother, he is, I guess, basically an uncle, or at least an uncle-in-law. He's not going to spoon feed him. And so for me, instead of Maurice trying to feed him the whole entrepreneur lane, you can tell from just the conversation they had, he's not prepared for true entrepreneur life. However, he can get there if he has his 9 to 5, and then he hustles on the side. As Maurice said, your spare time, follow Marceau, intern with Marceau. Ask Marceau on Saturdays, "Hey man, what project are you be on?" Show up at the construction site, ready to put in work. You can gain so much valuable information just by showing up and being ready to work. That's how you show people your hustle. And then they may be going into a paid position. But as far as I'm concerned, if he's not going to have that hustle, he needs to be at 9 to 5, which is what Kimmy has him doing now. So I'm with it.
Plaz, your internet's breaking up a lot. Come in and come back out.
Okay.
We didn't hear you a lot.
Okay.
Let me see. Come back in. Give her a few minutes. Oh, come back in. Plaz, come back in, my love. Discipline in the World 2020. Thank you so much for the super chat. My fist would have been inside Martell's mouth. How are they misogynistic on Oprah's platform? These women need to learn they have backbones. Use them. Absolutely. I'm going to have to agree with Plez. Watching Jalen in action, he reminded me, to me, I think he has the wrong parents. I think his mother needs to be Tisha. Yeah. They seem to be cognitively in the same place a little bit. Did you hear that, Plez? I was saying that Jalen gives me Tisha vibes. I think he has the wrong mother. She should have been his mom. They seem to be kind of similar. Did you get that feeling?
Well, I try very hard not to talk about people's cognitive abilities or lack thereof, and definitely not talk about children. But I will say that it seemed like Jalen is, just a little yeah.
We missed it because you froze. You said he's a little bit what?
That was it. Just a little. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, that's a good way of saying it. Bishop, did you see that?
Touch.
Yeah. Okay. We didn't want to go there, and I wouldn't even consider him a child. He's a grown man at this point. But so I think he's fair game. He's not under 18, but yeah, he was just giving me Tisha vibes. Like that could be his mama, schoolboy. Yeah. How'd you feel?
I mean, he's like most young Generation Z, and some millennials. You want everything handed to you, and just as Pled said, if you want to in order to build and be an entrepreneur, you got to have your regular 9 to 5 that's gonna bring you regular income in so that you can continue to maintain, and then your extra that you make, you pour that into whatever that you're trying to do on a regular basis, your passion, your dream, or whatever business that you're trying to open up. he just seemed like he sounded to me where like when parents kind of like want their kids to kind of be a part of their dream and they kind of like incorporate their children, but their children really I guess lack the motivation for whatever dream that their parents are having, that they want to add them in to make generational wealth. But it's like, yeah, he say he like it, but it's okay. But is that truly something you want to do as an entrepreneur? Don't just do real estate because that's what your mama does on the side and because that's what your mom hustles at and because you can kind of, flipping houses is not very easy. It's not at all. Because you have to keep to a budget. You have to do all, it's a complicated thing. It just felt like Buddy wants to be an entrepreneur, but I'm not sure if that is really what he actually wants to do. I don't know if that's something he's pushing towards that because he sees Kimmy making a lot of money on the side with that. But you can't, I think he needs to find his real direction of what he's trying to do. But if he's going to go that route, then he needs to put some umph and some pep in his step and he needs to get some go get him. But I will always say this to anybody. I don't care if you're young or old. You can't motivate somebody else. They got to put the drive in themselves to, as much as you can kick them, they got to feel it and want to do it themselves. And I just don't feel that umph from him. I'm sorry.
Michelle Hardnick, thank you so much for the super chat. Kimmy is teaching her son work ethics. Okay. Bishop.
That's what I pick up from her vibe when she talked about her son and him as well. And you may never know, it might be the nerves of being on camera too, because you have to have them cameras around you all the time. So he's a young man developing into, becoming his own man. So I say kudos to Kimmy trying to get him to get, off the ground and, work with her for a little bit and going to school and all that good stuff. So, he might be a spoiled kid, but he's still he's still growing up. He's still developing.
He seemed really confused to me. I didn't get really spoiled vibes, just confused. Like he's repeating things he heard people say, but he really doesn't know what he's talking about. But he wants to do something. He just seems all over the place to me. Poor kid. And then you have Maurice that's super focused, right? Micro focused, understands business, understands the world. And this poor kid, someone said the elevator is stuck between the 3rd and 5th floor. That's the only way you can pretty much, sum up what's happening with Jalen.
And then also you got to take into account they were raised different. Maurice was probably raised in a home of where they're like, baby boomers, late, silent generation type of people where, where you knew where you was going to be solid. When you have solid parents like that, they instill you, your work ethic and stuff like that. So if he is confused, he do get that little confused. I see what you're saying, but he was raised the best way he know how from his mother. You know what I mean? She was a single mother, so.
And I agree. He has plenty of time to figure out. He's in his early 20s. I mean, there's some people that don't even come to their purpose or really finding out what they want to do until their mid-30s. So, I mean, he has time to kind of weed himself and figure it out. I just think there's too much pressure from over here and over here. And I do think, and I agree with Bishop, his mama trying to teach him work ethic. You need to learn work ethic first before you get out here trying to own your own business, because if you don't know how business works in the real world and how it operates and how you step up and go up the ladder, you can't manage somebody else. And at a young age, it's really hard for a young person to be a CEO and have people working for them when they're not all fully, developed mentally. Remember, the brain is not developed mentally until you're 25. And
you're not fully a realized man until you're like 30. In most cultures.
That's true. Exactly. But you know what? I didn't see anything wrong with Kimmy paying for his school and helping, giving him a little boost. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Other cultures do that.
They do. And not everyone has the fortitude and the drive to work, okay, and go to college at the same time. Some people just need to focus on one thing. And that young man strikes me as the type of person that needs to focus on one thing at a time. He don't strike me as a multitasker and a mover and a shaker. All right, y'all. Moving. I guess we lost Plez, and we're all having internet issues because of the weather. The weather's been really bad. Okay, all over the country, except California, right? Except the Bay.
I'm sorry, y'all. That's why I don't say nothing. When y'all say bad weather, I don't say nothing. I'm out of this conversation.
Oh, you can't be a part of the chat. All right, y'all. So up next, Melody and Martell meet to discuss the state of their joint businesses. Melody means business, and she asked, can she record the conversation? She's like, look, can I record the conversation? And Martell's smug ass was like, it's Alabama. You don't need my consent. I guess it's a one-party consent state. Only one party has to consent to. I like them kind of state shit. Anyway, in my line of work. Anyway, so they meet and they agreed to dissolve Holt and Holt. And I love Melanie, okay? Because she's onto his ass and onto his passive aggressive way of trying to upset her. So she's like, Holt and Holt dissolved. Next, you saw his face like, huh? Hold up, you going too fast.
He was pissed too. He was like,
he's like, oh, okay. The last time we were here, it was under better circumstances. And, we were in happier times. Okay, Martell, let's just get Melody. Look at this face. She was all about business. Look at that face.
Ooh, that's a ninja, please. Come on. I got stuff to do.
Right?
I ain't got time to be here all night.
Listen, a woman fed up, that's the face you make, okay? That is the face of a woman that's just done.
Mm-hmm. A woman that have a side dude too. Ooh.
Oh yeah, bigger and better, honey, too. Okay, done stepped it up. So the next issue on the agenda for them is the 47 Acres project, and according to Martell, it's at a standstill. That's not what Melody wants to hear. Obviously it's not at the end of the project, it's the beginning of the project. So Melanie's like, look, we need to agree on this because I still want my cut. After that, they talk about Embrace Beauty, okay, a beauty brand that Martell set up for Melody. And Melody wants to cut Martell out of that deal completely. She's like, listen, I just want complete ownership of it. Initially, I was going to give you 15%. I'm taking that back. I want the whole deal. And Martell's not happy with it. He's not. He launches into his manipulation tactics to make Mel feel guilty because he's always made sure she was part of the deals. That's what he starts to tell her, making her revisit, taking her down memory lane and revisit old stuff. That's what he's supposed to do. I'm not going to give him brownie points for including his wife on the deal. That's what you're supposed to do as a husband. Okay. Martell, in my opinion, listen, if he's going to be including her on stuff, why not include her on everything? But he's bringing it up because he wants brownie points for it. It's like, no, dude. Okay. Melody is not trying to hear any of it and wants to dissolve everything at this point. Martell continues his guilt trip and reminds Mel how much he's taken care of her financially throughout the years. Again, you're not going to get brownie points from me because that's what a man's supposed to do. Bring home the bacon, okay? Take care of his household. I'm not going to give you brownie points for that. He wants her to have his back on the business venture front, and Mel starts to tear up a little bit. And I'm like, dang it. You was doing so good, girl. He reminds her that although he did her dirty, he always came home on time. Boy, aren't you supposed to come home on time? I'm going to stop right there and let's get into it. Schoolboy, what are your thoughts? Plez, I'm sorry. We just went over the whole scene in the office where he was trying to gaslight her. And Mel was just stoic, like, we're going to dissolve everything. Schoolboy, what were your thoughts on that scene?
I'm like, ninja. You really going to tell this woman, because you came home on time after you was slanging that thing over at Arion's house, that makes you exempt? Like, sir. Like, you really be trying to do too much. And you, when you're a man, where you had a household or however y'all dynamic is, gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, whatever y'all dynamic is, if how y'all ever have y'all structure, okay, because I know some people stick to heterosexual norms. Whoever comes home, bring home the bacon, and y'all do that, then yeah, your spouse should be included. Like, you should be taking care of your spouse. I mean, sir, you don't get, I mean, like you said, Monica, you don't get brownie points for doing what you're supposed to do. You have a wife and a kids. That's what you're supposed to take care of. And if you didn't want that, sir, you shouldn't have married her or knocked her up 4 times. Like, that's not what you do. That's, I mean, he's so ignorant, and it gets on my nerves because I really want to slap the hell out of him in that scene. Look, just dissolve everything. And if I would be like this, look, I wouldn't even care if she kept the beauty brand. Whatever, we'll split the rest of it 50-50 if that's what you want. I'm just trying to keep this amicable. But because he can't do that and he wants to be petty with her because his whole world is falling apart, he crying out here looking like Ray J singing One Wish in the Rain. Sir, you just need to stop. Just let that woman be free. Give her freedom papers. You've been out here doing your thing. Let it go.
Right.
It's not that deep.
Yeah. He dropped last night's episode. He dropped this a lot. Mel is trying to hold up this divorce. No, sir. You just responded to the damn divorce. You're the one trying to hold it up with all these emotions and all this other mess. Plus, sound off. What were your thoughts on that scene?
Like I said earlier, eyes bucked, mouth on the ground. It was horrible. Like you said, the level of gaslighting, the level of attempted manipulation. And I was so sad towards the end because he legit got tears out of her.
Yeah.
Melody, please don't cry. Do not, I know it's hard. Don't give him the satisfaction of seeing any more of your tears. For me, peace of mind is worth more than any amount of money ever could be. So if he wanted half of Embrace, baby, you would get half of Embrace up to today, of course, up until the finalization of the divorce. After that would solely be my company. You would solely have your company. I'm going to go over here in my corner and start my own construction business development company because I know the game now. He is so bent on proving to the world and to himself that he quote unquote made her. He wants to keep throwing the school teacher bit out of there as if he wasn't a school teacher himself. He wants everyone to believe that he was the mind and the genius behind the brand. And as she said, they were a couple. They came up with ideas and formulated plans together. It was horrible, So overall, I was happy that she was able to keep her head on swivel. She said, look, we're just going to dissolve everything, which is fine. I think part of her wants to let Embrace go because Tisha can keep saying that ain't her logo. That's her logo. Like, girl, your graphic designer made a carbon copy. It just doesn't have beauty behind it. The M and the B are the same. So I think she wants to let it go and start fresh and start new, and that's all right as well. I always want people to try to be the better version of themselves that they can be, and Martell is obviously spiraling. Like, he is becoming unglued at the seams, and he cannot control it. And the main issue is his narcissism and him losing control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, honey.
Right. Amen. Truth to that one here. Bishop, your thoughts on that scene?
Okay, well, what you explained to me of the scene, he is narcissistic. I'll give everyone that. But to humanize him, he's going through a loss too. She is as well. So I don't blame her crying, and I don't blame him scratching and clawing, trying to keep everything he can keep. And a lot of times we see these dynamics happen when people break up. We're now seeing how it's happening, versus what was going on social media last year. So we're now seeing what happened when we didn't watch it, when the cameras are rolling. So we're saying, don't cry, girl, don't do this. No, but she needs to mourn this loss. It's a loss. And for people that have never been divorced, I've never been divorced, but I sympathize with people that go through that, because as single people, we don't understand that. And we like, don't do this, don't do that. No, this, that, and the third. And he acting crazy, and he act like he ain't got no remorse. He's probably crying at night. We don't see it. And to be honest, when going back a couple episodes ago, I remember Tisha said this. She said she made a statement. Oh, what was that statement? She was in the kitchen. She was saying this, but she was regarding the relationship, and she was saying something, and Marceau had said, I forgot what it was, but at the end of the day, with Martell, he don't know how to handle losing things. So to us, it's like, oh, this old demon, devil, this, that, and the third. But if you really take a step back, he probably had to do this as a child growing up. Had to show the strong face. Don't look like you're weak. Never cry. Never do this, that, and the third. So the only way he not do that is like, I got it together. Everything is fine. So and he lashes out, not understanding that it's making him look crazy in the process. So, and the things he's saying, that he started, whatever, it's his way of saying that I try to contribute, but it's coming off very condescending. And some people don't know the difference when they have put up a wall for so long, and it needs to come crumbling down. We're seeing it coming from the seams right now, and it needs to happen. Even though it's kind of like, oh, this is what he get, laughing, whatever. But some people need to break down and get down to ground zero in order to build back up, sustaining things that last forever. Right now, we're seeing the fall of a false confidence.
But you're giving that brother way too much credit, Bishop. I'm sorry.
I'm humanizing him. A lot of times we don't humanize people. We see them on TV and just put characters.
Right, that's true. But it's one thing to mourn the death, the death of the marriage. I get that. But the way Martell is acting to me is as if he murdered somebody and the feds are onto him and he's trying to cover his tracks.
Right.
That's the best way for me to describe it. The gaslighting, the lies, the manipulation, all to cover up the mistake he made. See, those behaviors and those traits to me is when I can't humanize him. I can't. He's a scumbag. He's butt, like he really is. I mean, like I said, it's nice that you wanted to humanize Martell Bishop and give him that credit, but he's acting like a bitch maid. I'm sorry, he's acting bitch maid. He really
I don't disagree with you on that, but what I'm saying is, if it's been done for so long since he was a kid, when you're missing building blocks growing up, you're gonna put certain things in place to build that wall. And when that wall is shattering down, it's not going to be pretty. That glass is going to be on the floor. Folks going to cut their feet. He going to cut his feet. She going to cut her hands trying to get out that door. It's looking bad, but that some people are like that. And like you said, he do give me that serial killer vibe. I ain't gonna lie, he do. But we got to also take into account that Mel beat him to the punch by showing us on TV. Bring this to TV, because Tisha said that. That's what I was saying about the kitchen scene. She said this stuff never came to light. Mel, when it came to the kitchen table on that first episode, and said, "What about if someone did this, that, and the third?" She brought it to TV. Let's be real about that. She did first episode.
They both brought it to TV because he agreed with it. So that's the issue.
No, when a scene happens,
I could humanize somebody like his business partner that he tried to throw under the bus last week. That was a man who stood flat-footed on the ground and said, yes, I cheated on my wife, but we were able to get through it. Martell is not exhibiting any trace of a man who is caught. And again, we've watched where he was caught before. His wife gave him opportunity to make amends. He's had several chances that even we've seen. So now he's at a point where he's literally just a child who is throwing a temper tantrum because he can no longer get away with the bloody murder that he's been getting away with. And that is where I have the lapse in character. He is completely not taking any ownership of anything. Anything. So I
think
get
it's
it.
the
Yeah, he is
accountability
human. And that's
issue.
why I've tried to say before, he's a good father. He wants to be attentive. And those are great characteristics. He's a horrible husband. Don't look like he's that much of a great businessman. And just a horrible person in general, because people, when they make mistakes, should get to a point where they say, you know what, you're right. This is on me. And I have to deal with what I did. And he's not doing any of that. He is jumping up in any woman's face, including his wife, who takes issue with anything, who doesn't automatically demonize.
Oh,
Good. Let me bring her back out and bring her back in.
It's an accountability issue that he has, and people got to
Yeah.
understand that when you are broken as a human being, you can't take accountability for yourself. So this is why he keeps doing the things he does, because it's easy to keep spraying you and you,
Right.
you and you, than for me to take accountability. I mean, how many people on the cast have already said, like, dude, this ain't about me, this is about you. You know, he doesn't want to do that. So until he comes to terms with who he is, this is gonna be what it's gonna be.
and
I hate the fact, I'm sorry, Bishop. I
No,
hate
it's
the fact how he tries to tear everybody down with him.
Mhm.
You know, the business partner guy, but you cheated. And every time someone brings up his transgressions, it's like, well, Melody cheated too. I'm glad Melody finally said we were not together at the time. It was a 4-week period. We were not even living in the same house. You know, he makes it seem like she had this full-blown affair on him. That's what I can't deal with Marsha. He is goodness.
And you know, and that's what's up, Monica, because you know the chat room dragging me, and I keep saying I agree with everybody on the panel. I'm just humanizing, and that's the only difference. And players, she have said that, so I'm not gonna say you never said he was a good father and all the other stuff, because all of y'all said that. I was just saying that, you know, sometimes people have had this exterior for so long, and we're watching the process of him being broken down, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. We don't see the after results of when we see him finally realize, like, dang, I lost everything, because right now it's happening on camera. So, you know, and on top of that, you know, people build up egos on camera too, because they don't want to seem like they're weak. And they be crying at home and all this other stuff, you know, because I don't lie, because I'm like, I don't let nobody see me cry. So I was like, we doing this at nighttime, you know, when the lights are off. But you know, but ain't no excuse.
That's one thing I learned in therapy, though. You have to learn how to get in touch with your feelings, and you have to learn how to feel it in order to get through it. If you don't feel it, you are going to continue to harbor anger towards folks that ain't did nothing to you, and you just gonna be running around here angry, cutting on people because you mad, you know, acting crazy, you know, being like Marie on Bell Collective. Sorry, that's not the show right here. But you gotta, you know, you can't be doing that to people. But he got a problem, and but then also I think too, money. He gonna have to pay her. He don't want to have to do that, and then he got that side baby.
Yeah, exactly.
And he overshooting his hand. Now that's one thing I'm gonna say. I can't stand about him. You overshooting your hand when your wife's trying to have compassion on you and trying to give you 15%, trying to make sure you get 50-50 custody, even though it's bouncing the kids from house to house, which I don't care too much for. But he's overshooting his hand, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And then that was so he didn't get the reaction he wanted inside the office. So he chases, you know, behind her. She's in the Range Rover, rolling up the windows. I love that. Like, no, Ninja, we are done. The conversation's over. Okay. She rolled up the windows and he's like, Mel, what about the money that you took out of the account? And she is just reversing. She's in reverse. He better get out of her way because Mel ready to run his ass over. I love that scene. You see, he's such a manipulator and a gaslighter. He wanted her to explode in that office. She didn't give it to him, so he chases behind her outside. See how he thinks? That's why it's hard for me to put a human aspect on him. He's just so sociopathic for me. He's like, I'm telling you, Ted Bundy. He up there with Ted Bundy for me, child. And nobody can change my mind about it either.
That's 100 right there. He do have that crazy look though, and that's how it starts. You know, I think his mom is realizing now, but she made that monster. Let's be real about that. That monster didn't come from nowhere. That monster was made.
It was funny though how she pulled off because I was like, "Oh, she gonna hit him with the Range Rover. Hit him.
Run his ass over. Run him over. Ooh, that was a good scene.
Give him that front tire, back tire, then flip it in reverse and then go back again."
Mm-hmm. The tears, he didn't want those tears in that scene. He wanted her to explode, you know, and he does it so craftily with his words and stuff and manipulation. That man is just pure evil to me. Pure evil.
Hip talk. You got that Jamal Bryant talk.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Past the holy hoa.
Yes.
I passed the holy word, child. Okay. So moving on.
Oh my.
Ooh. What's that? Moving on, y'all. Over at Destiny's Beauty Supply shop, Tisha drops by, and can we stop and address Destiny's adorable chocolate baby? Oh my goodness. When that baby started to smile, I rewind that scene like 3 or 4 times. Oh my God, I want a baby. I want a baby. My babies aren't babies anymore. I want 2 or 3. I wish I could adopt triplets right now. I just love children. I love them. Oh my gosh. So sweet, y'all. So sweet. So sweet. Oh my goodness. You hear that? What's that? Is it me? Is
Somebody
it
underwater?
It might be my microphone. Sometimes the StreamYard be acting up. Let me. I don't know what that is. All right, y'all. So Tisha and Destiny, they chat about various things, including Tisha's podcast and Destiny's Tisha's podcast. And Destiny is not on board with Kimmy and her being on there at the same time. She brings up a previous interaction where Tisha had talked about not knowing her and all she knows of her is fried chicken. It's I guess Destiny and her husband run a fried chicken business. She's like, I don't know them. All I know is they fry some chicken or something like that. So Destiny brought that comment back up, and it was a rude and unnecessary remark by Kimmy. Y'all know I'm not really too fond of Kimmy anyway. There's just something about her that rubs me the wrong way. And then the whole logo with, but Destiny says on the flip side, she wants to invite Melody, and Tisha's like, I'm not really feeling Melody, blah, blah, blah. She accused me of ripping off her logo, and then the 2 logos are up on the screen side by side, and it does look like a complete ripoff. Let's talk about that little scene for a minute. We don't have to spend a lot of time on it. Schoolboy, what was your thoughts? The baby was the best.
That Tisha need to stop lying. She stole Melody thing, but you know, come on, Monica. You know, you looked at that thing. It was like that logo is the same. Tisha, now you know you lying. I was like, girl, you wrong. You wrong. And I did. Her baby was cute. Destiny baby was cute. I was like, oh dang.
Vanessa is hilarious. Oh my goodness.
I want a kid for the tax write-off. Oh,
I love babies. And that little
so
chocolate
cute.
baby, that smile. I was like, oh, it melted my heart. Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, Vanessa said that's the baby smile.
Podcast point though. Like, what was like? Now you want to invite, and then you know, I guess I was confused. Like, what was Tisha's point? Like, you know that her and Kimmy did not get along in that little interaction. Now, I didn't take offense. I mean, chicken. I mean, if that's what y'all cook, your husband cooked chicken. He cooked chicken. I mean, the lady didn't say nothing wrong about the chicken. She just said, you know, I know your husband from cooking chicken. I mean, I don't understand what the issue was. But I think Tisha gonna start the mess, and that shade in that moment with, well, you know, Melody, you know. See, you starting to act like Wanda. You're being messy right there. And I was like, you know, when they get back to, because, you know, Destiny gonna tell Melody, oh, well, you know, she came in there, you know, a little bit shade, you know. I'm just like, why you do that? You know, it was a cute little scene, but then again, at the same time, it was unnecessary because they could have cut that out. We could have just got to the fight because that's where I wanted to be at.
I gotta acknowledge this comment because this just took me out. That cute baby smiled at Tisha because they speak the same language. Goo goo gaga. Vanessa, you wrong, girl. You so wrong for that. Crowned by Bria. Thank you so much for the super chat. Martisha, yeah, is completely draining. Throwing stones in a glass house never works. It's very counterproductive. He's aggressive, delusional, and toxic. Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree. Plaz, what were your thoughts on that scene with Tisha, Destiny in the beauty supply?
I was glad that Destiny got her business up and running. That's a good look. Like you, I love the baby. But other than that, I just feel it was overproduced. You know, Destiny had to bring up Mel because of, production and to keep the drama going. I wouldn't ask Tisha about Mel at all because it's clear that they don't get along, probably will never get along again. So at this point, it's just counterproductive to keep bringing up that same tired story. What Destiny needs to focus on is her issue with Kimmy. It was so petty that they both need to let it go. If somebody don't know you, child, they don't know you. We got to stop getting so offended and letting our egos relate to everything. All Kimmy said was, I don't know them personally, but her husband makes good chicken. It's not like she went at their necks. She actually gave them a compliment by sending. I would want to know, oh, well, where her husband got a restaurant? Let me go get some of that chicken. Take the publicity that you get and use it wisely. Don't get caught up in the superficial fool-la-la. Too much.
But it does make for good storyline, right? It does make for, fodder for us to talk about. Bishop, what are your thoughts on that little beauty supply scene?
It's so messy. But y'all know she was doing shade. Come on now. But
yeah.
But like Plaz said, you need to take your promotion and your, what they give you. But again, this is take months before. So feelings are being involved and we're watching it. So you getting live reaction. So you like, so but that's messed up. She said that to her because that is dirty. But they have to keep it going. And I was so over Tisha. Like she seemed like the teenager of the show. It's like, okay, like this is what we're dealing with. Okay, I think I could tolerate her a little bit, but I'm sorry. Could we give Miss Wanda a full-time cast member rather than? Can we follow her? Like, I want to know who the side dude is.
Rename Tisha to Goo Goo Gaga.
That's your new nickname.
Goo Goo Gaga. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, so when y'all say Goo Goo Gaga, that's code name for Tisha. Okay.
Yeah. I got it. Interracial perspective. Thanks for the reminder. We have over 2,200 people watching this live. Go ahead and hit that like button. All right. So yeah, that was something. Come on. In my opinion, and it was very obvious that Miss Kimmy was being shady. And sometimes certain things are just so uncalled for. You just don't have to say certain things. You don't know the lady fine. But when you said it that type of way, it was insulting. All I know about them is they fry good chicken. And Plez is right. That was a plug because I want to know where the chicken at. Black folks hear chicken. It's like, oh, well, shit. Well, where's the spot? Right? Because that's all I can think of is that good chicken. All right. And if I head down to Huntsville, Alabama one day, I'm going to check it out. Over at Marsue and Tisha's office, I kind of like Marsue and Tisha's interaction. It just seems so, I don't know. She's a little child. He's like the angry father. It's just, their dynamic is so interesting to me. Uncle Mike is helping them design their future Scott Manor. They're building a mansion, y'all. Y'all was clowning their old little rinky-dink house, but look, they were saving a coin for a mansion, see? And Chris Fletcher stops by. Now, Chris Fletcher is Martell's business partner, and he knows Marsue obviously as well. And he's working with Martell on the 47 Acres project. So he stops by to have a conversation, and he wants Marsue involved because they kind of want to make Marsue the face of the project and move Martell out because, you know, his reputation is in the gutter. It's a shame, right? People don't want to make investments and buy anything from them with Martell's face on it because it's trash. He's trash. Let's just keep it real. And Marcel's like, really? Okay, well, I'm going to think about that. He comes back inside. He tells Tisha, and her first response is, no, I don't want to work with the Holts. They got the cooties over there. I don't want to work with them. Ooh. And he's just like, in his mind, girl, this is business. And he goes, all right, well, don't work with them. I'll work with them. That little scene was cute to me. Schoolboy sound off.
I was here for it because that's the petty part of me. And Marcel, I'd have been saying the same thing. I'd be like, you won't get a cut of the 30 million, but I'm finna do this. I don't know what you got going on, but whatever personal issues you got with Melody ain't got nothing to do with this coin. Let's get this money. I was here for it. Then I thought it was funny when they was arguing about what was going in the house. He just basically told her to shut the hell up. This what they don't need no playroom. We gonna do it this way. We gonna construct it this way. And it was just like, she's like, oh, so I'm like, Tish, come on now, you know he was finna check you when you said something about a playroom. And I'm like, them big age kids, they don't need no playroom. Just get them a little out in the back and call it a day. They don't need no playroom. Come on. But I was here for the deal. I would have took the 30 million. I mean, at the end of the day, business is business, pleasure is pleasure. I don't owe them anything. And if this is the way the deal is going to have to happen, and they got to cut out Martell for his stuff, but then Martell needs to be honest with Melody and say, look, I'm being cut out. But see, he don't want to admit he being cut out because of his slanging and banging on the side. So
I just want to address this comment real quick. Monica, I'm convinced you didn't actually see the scene when Kimmy said that. She wasn't being shady at all. Well, I'm not the only person that said she was being shady. I mean, we can agree to disagree. It's all based on interpretation. I see one thing, you may see another. Doesn't mean I don't watch the show. Obviously, I watch the show. Goodness gracious, because I don't agree with y'all. It's anyway. Okay. But it's just so silly to me. Like, how grown are you? Do you not understand that there's interpretation? I may see it one way, you see it another. I saw her as being shady. That doesn't mean I don't. So another person said it too. Do you really watch the show? Why? Because I don't agree with you. Ples, what are your thoughts?
So here's what I will say. I think all people have redeeming qualities. So what I do like about Marcel is that he is always being the voice of reason for Letitia, because Letitia is very emotionally driven. She makes all her decisions based on emotion, and you can't move through life successfully doing that. So like last season, when he told her she shouldn't have showed up at Mel's event, I was like, Jesus, I am agreeing with Marcel for something. I couldn't believe it. But it's true. He constantly tells her, as he should as a husband in the privacy of their home, Tisha, that's not right. So I was glad when he checked her about the money. Baby, money is money. So if it's 30 million on the line and they want him to come in and do the construction on the single family homes, that could be easily $5-6 million. You leaving that type of money on the table for your children because of what? Now, to her credit, they have had business deals go left with the Holts in the past. However, they also have to admit part of that was their fault, because before I go to saying I'm going to invest and buy some land with you, I'm going to make sure my paperwork is in order.
Right.
I'm going to see what's going on with these deeds and who's the original seller, and make sure I'm at the table for all of the meetings. From what we got from the earlier seasons, it doesn't seem like they did that. It seems like they were trying to operate on a smile and a handshake, and that's just not real. So I was glad that he said, okay, you ain't got to do it. I'll do it on my own. The playroom thing, I mean, she is the woman of the house. She knows what the children need. Now, I think the word playroom may not be right for their age of children, but a room where they all can go and hang out. Even as teenagers, they're going to need that. A game room, playroom, whatever you want to call it. He's going to want a man cave. And that's the point of getting 10 acres and building your house from the ground up. You get whatever you want in it. So I don't know why he's trying to penny pinch. He going to take on that 30 million job and get his half. And that way his wife can have her playroom for her children.
I agree with that 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, money is money. Just do your paperwork, do your homework. You know, a smile and a handshake, you know, it's not going to cut it in business with Martell or anyone else. Always do your paperwork. Bishop, what were your thoughts on that scene?
I mean, give the kids a playroom, like what players saying. You just say the game, just call it a game room. You know what I mean? A way that the kids can get out your hair when you want to go to the man cave, because kids that don't have a place to go will come in your domain and in your space, and you be like, get these chilling out of my man cave, get them out of here. But that's kind of petty, and about how he interacts with Letitia, she needs that, because apparently she didn't see that healthy dynamic to where how to you can't always be in your feelings about someone you don't like. You're always going to do stuff. You're always going to do things with people you don't like. You got to work with people. I'm pretty sure everybody at that job you don't like, but you work as a team to get the whole the project off the ground and getting it going. You don't have to like them, but you're gonna respect me. Now that's one thing between her and Mel. Y'all can agree to disagree, but you're gonna respect me at the end of the day, Melody. You just need to tell her that. But Letitia has not gone into that. She has not reached that maturity yet to where she can understand that you can work with people you don't like. You can work with people. To me, it's not even the fact I don't like you or not, because I'm not that invested in feelings with people. If I fall out with somebody, cool. And if we meet up in the crossroads, it don't mean I don't like you. It just means we don't mesh. So she need to get to that point where me and Melody don't mesh no more. We're at the end of the road of our relationship. But at the end of the day, we still can get this money. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna fight you over nothing. Just get this money. You get your cut, I get my cut, and deuces. We don't see each other ever again.
She don't think like that though. She thinks like a third grader. It's just, you kicked me out of the sandbox last week. It's done. We can't make millions together. She's just.
Monica, also, Marcel is not done by any side of the imagination. If he knows that Martell throwing his name out there is Martell's way of dealing with his own guilt for how he has handled Marceau in the past, in past
True.
business dealingships, and in their friendship with throwing him under the bus about his affairs. So now, in addition to trying to just undermine Melody, he's also like that part of him is eating away at him. So he's now trying to smooth it over by bringing him in on the back end of this deal.
Right.
And there'll be lots of partners in the agreement. So it's not like it's just going to be them and the Holts. There'll be the outside developers as well.
Absolutely. Good point. I felt the same way too. Like he was trying to make amends a little bit, bridge a gap, because he knows what he's done. He's actually accused the man of cheating, having an affair with Mel's hairdresser, which the lady came out and said that was false. And there was never any proof to it. So he knows beyond just being dirty in business, he tried to smear Marceau's reputation. Like I said, Martell wants to pull everybody down with him. It's sad. Tamara says, is Marceau cheating on his wife? I don't think so. I mean, we don't have any proof of it. That was the rumors and stuff. The panel and a lot of people seem to think so, but I don't know. You know
what I'll say on that?
Mm-hmm.
If Marceau ever did cheated, I think he cheated in the past. This is why Miss Wanda couldn't find nothing when she said she followed him. But then this is why she made the threat too. If you ever do Tisha the way that Martell did Melody, God help you, baby. God help your soul. But I think he's done stuff in the past. I'm not gonna put nothing past nobody. She kind of childish, and some dudes, when their wife is pregnant, they go out and slip and dip. You know what I mean? But
how nasty.
Marcel is a very unemotional and what I would deem an unaffectionate person. He may not be currently cheating on his wife, but I absolutely get, I go on business trips often, and what I do on my business trip is my business type vibes. Like, I don't think he would start a whole family across town like Martell, but he ain't been faithful for 14 years either.
You don't think so? So
absolutely not.
Love Goddess says Marceau seems to be the smartest one in the group. If he cheated, he handled it differently than Marsha. He even said Mel put their business on social media. Okay. So people seem, like I said, a lot of people seem to think that he has done stuff or he's doing stuff. I don't know. I haven't seen any proof or anything concrete. Okay, so
well, because he ain't gonna be stupid. He's on national TV and he knows he don't want to get caught up. That's Marsha.
Mm-hmm. Let's not forget the 20 girlfriends. What was that? What was the 20 girlfriends?
That's what Martell said, but I don't think they were actual girlfriends. Like I said, Marcel to me is the type of man that comes in with, I'm never leaving my wife. If you want to dabble here and there, we can, but just know that this is what I have going on. So that it's not to say that he doesn't do it. He just ain't selling you no wooden nickels, no false dreams. Like, I'm not buying you a Benz or BMW, whatever he bought that girl. I'm not paying for your nursing school. If you want a little wet behind, you can come get that. But that's it.
I agree with players, and he probably quit him right before the show started airing. He like, we're done.
He gonna take them to dinner in their city or something like that. But other than that, he's not, he's not crazy. That's why he got that vasectomy. He wasn't, let me hold up before I slip up and make a baby. Let me go on. I'm done.
All right, y'all. So moving on to the juiciest part of the episode, it's time for Jalen's graduation celebration. All the ladies and their gents gather. They do a little small talk, and Tisha's mommy's podcast is brought up. Kimmy agrees to appear, and Kimmy's throwing shade. She's like, yes, I'll find, I can't wait to come on your podcast so I can find fame. That was some shade, okay? But I don't blame her because Tisha is acting really ridiculous about this mommy podcast. Like, girl, don't nobody have time for it. Don't nobody care. Anyway, especially Kimmy. Destiny invites Mel on the podcast, and Tisha gets all petty and says she's not sure about that and the state of their friendship. And then, Mel says in a talking head, girl, I didn't want to do your podcast anyway. Who cares? Then Wanda shows up, and Kimmy throws some petty shade towards Tisha, and she's like, well, pretty much who invited you? Or thank you, Tisha and Marsu for inviting Wanda. Like, what is she doing here? Huh? Okay. Then Martell shows up and the mood shifts. Mel abruptly puts on her mask, and she says, it's time for me to get the hell up out of Dodge. She gets up. She exits the stage left with Wanda in tow. Okay. Wanda is the Giselle of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Producers obviously said to her, as soon as she gets there, bring it up. Like, girl, he did you wrong. Bring it up on camera. So, but Mel was like, I'm gone. And, Wanda got to get the scene done. She starts to chase behind Mel, and I start laughing. They all move out to the parking lot, and Wanda is in the midst of telling Mel she feels her pain. She can do better when Martell just barges in and over, and he starts yelling and jumps in Wanda's face, his elder, mind you, and starts getting loud and aggressive, talking about Wanda was talking about his kids on live and don't worry about who she could do better with. I mean, just wanted to knock that man out in that scene. I'm not a violent person, but Martell will try you. Schoolboy, sound off about that dramatic scene in the parking lot.
What they say, I'm not a killer, but don't tempt me. when he came running up, he just ran up at that like he was running a 200 meter. He just
in his tight shirt. Look at that tight shirt. Get ready to bust.
Yeah, look, he finna bust out of that. He finna bust out of that right there. Whole chest hair just out. He finna bust out right there. It just killed. I'm like, Martell, why did you have to go run up on that lady? That lady is your elder. That's somebody's grandma. Like, come on, man. And even if she did say something, he first started it off when he came in and he was being smart with Melody. Oh, well, you look like you're glowing, And she like, Martell, just stop. You started there. You started the gaslighting there. And then as soon as Wanda came in, and this is where I get mad at Tisha ass, because you knew damn well you shouldn't have invited your mama, because you already knew when Wanda was going to pump through there with that pump it up spray and that updo, that it was finna be on and popping, okay? You knew it was gonna be some mess, and you see Kimmy face like, why is this heifer here? She pulled a candy and was talking through her teeth like, why is she here? And as soon as you see her, then she, and I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna get worse. Then when he ran up on that lake, I was like, Martell, you can't control your energy that much. You cannot control your energy that much. If this woman irritates you like that, that was just, it was too much. Tisha was wrong. Wanda, you didn't have to chase behind Melody. Melody's not your daughter. And if you really had something to say to her, you could have sent that girl a text message, smoke signal, whatever you had to do. But what you gave her was any other generalized speech that anybody would have said, you can do better, blah, 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 blah. But I understand, and I get it. In that scene, it made me feel that was real produced. And the producers wanted her to be there so that would kick up the dirt because they knew Wanda being in any scene with all of them together is going to be like fireworks.
Right? Plus, sound off. What were your thoughts on that dramatic scene? It was good too. It was good TV. I enjoyed it.
It was good TV, but like I said, I like when things happen organically, and everything about that felt produced. Well, at least produced to have all the pieces in place. Even Destiny bringing up, saying, how about all of us get all the mommies on the mommy podcast? Like, girl, you already had the discussion with her in the beauty shop. And she said how she felt on that. So why would you get in the midst of all of them and basically self-invite me? I don't know these people. And I'm glad I don't know these type of women. Girl, if you ever invite somebody to something that I'm doing, I invite who I want to invite to whatever I'm having, not you. That goes as well for Tisha and Marceau. I'm just in my mind, I'm like, well, maybe because again, they're in-laws and they know Miss Wanda loves Jalen too. Like, why would she be invited? Kimmy is the mother. She knows who she wants at her son's celebration. Because here's the thing. So he showed up late to his own party, which I felt was kind of rude, but whatever. Oh no, she did say that he was at work. But I'm like, why do people, you can teach your son work ethic, but you also need to teach your children about sick days and vacation and leave time. He could have left early or worked half a day to be there on time for his guests that were coming to celebrate him. They were about to start eating and everything before he got there. Anyway, I was sad because ultimately, he was just sitting there looking like a little lost puppy dog because they have rained on his parade. You were trying to give him the attention that he didn't get because of COVID and shower him with respect as you should have, but then it all went to pot. So, Mel was on her square. She was trying to be cordial and nice to everybody. And she was telling Kimmy, girl, make your speech. Because once you make your speech, I'm going to make my exit. Martell came in. They were ignoring each other, doing a pretty good job. But, baby, as soon as Miss Wanda came over and he heard the first word out of her mouth, he went, baby, like a beeline, running over there like like I ain't going to call her. I ain't going to use the word Miss Wanda used, but that's exactly what he did. And I'm like, this is a Black elder, whether you like her or not, whether she's messy or not, and she is. She's messy, she's nosy, she's all of those things. But I also feel like, again, even she was having some remorse for how far this has gone. And this was her time to see Melody in person and say, I'm really sorry that this has happened to your family. I'm really sorry that you as a woman are going through this. And lots of women can relate to this. And whether I necessarily like the person or not, hearing something from an elder's perspective often just, to me, does your soul good. So I think that's what Wanda was trying to do. But before she could even fully get the words out of her mouth, Martell was over there on the defense as usual. The last thing I want to say is I loved this look on Miss Wanda. That dress flattered her skin tone so well. She had the purple swirls going on through the WAP ponytail. It was a good look. She had the cape. in the bag, draped just right. She was there, baby. She showed up to that brunch party or whatever it was to slay. Martell just, I felt the same kind of disappointment that I felt last year when Snoop said what he said about Gayle. Like, even though we might not agree with what our Black elder women are saying or doing, I still feel there's a time and a place in a way that you handle those things. And that isn't necessarily getting in their face, talking to them like a dog. At the end of the day, you are a man and she's a woman, an older woman at that. And there's a way you can address her talking about you, talking about your children on social media that doesn't include getting in her face like that. It was way too much.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't talk to an elder like that. I mean, who raised Martell? Bishop, sound off. What were your thoughts on that dramatic scene that just had me on the floor dying with laughter?
You said the key word, who raised Martell. I said, and the people in the chat room getting a little upset. And I don't talk about his mama like that. I said what I said. Now deal with it. Okay. You know, people can't change. His mama probably did change, but he was raised by somebody. But anyways, but Miss Wanda, it was like a player say, the pieces were put in place, and she don't need production to do anything. She's an old Southern gossiper. You know, they don't need nobody to tell them, oh, production do this. She like, baby, I was already on it. You don't have to say nothing. Carlos, no, baby. I've been doing this way longer than you've been born. I know when to come and spill the tea, baby. Now sit down and take some notes. And you know, Carlos keep like, oop, and sat down and was laughing. but she one of them old school gossipers, you know, the one in church, and then they go to juke joint on Saturday night. She was doing it. She the original WAP. Now, Miss Wanda, if I was in the streets and I was older man, yes, I would holler at her too. How you doing, baby? Oh, baby. No, Miss Wanda, she messy. She know what she doing. She know how to get the party started. And Tisha is Candy and Miss Jackie. They know who to push to make the barking sounds for them. You know, they push people out there that's aggressive while they sit there and like counting their money and act like they didn't do nothing wrong.
Oh, that sounds like me. I just don't like confrontation sometimes. Just go and let me, please. Just go. Ooh, just go. You know. Ooh.
Yeah, but you know when to do it and when not to do it. See, you kind of smart about it. You still would throw your shade too. Shoot, I'll be watching Monica. I'll be doing it too. But Miss Wanda, she's so messy chasing that.
What she said, she told Carl, baby, just sit down and watch me.
Sit down and watch me work. I've been doing this since the 50s, baby. You don't know how to do this. I'm the original WAP. Cardi ain't got nothing on me.
So
but yeah, man, Martell is wrong for that. He shouldn't have been that older woman's face. You know, it shows you the lack of, you know, some Southern traditions you don't do. You just don't you don't talk back to your elders. You don't get in their face. There was a way he could have handled that. He could have waited till she was done talking to Mel, and then say, you know what? Let me and Mel deal with this. I don't need your input. You done enough, ma'am. You done enough. But I understand. But you know he can't do that because again we're watching shattering glass right in front of us, and he losing his cool because he ain't got no control no more. So it is what it is. But yeah. Martell, if that was my mama, he'd have been knocked in his face, and then I would have talked to my mama after that. I like, mama, you need to go down, sit down somewhere.
I started to think, because you know he was busting out the shirt and stuff, that he was going to turn into the Incredible Hulk. You know, David Banner. You don't like me when I'm angry. Don't make me angry. Was it roid rage? What was that? Okay.
He tried to come with that big D energy, but it failed.
Big time.
It was probably
like,
it was probably roid rage, Monica, but it was also just again that narcissism. And I always tell people like you got to be self-aware of yourself. I didn't have violent tendencies like Martell, or aggressive tendencies, I should say. But I remember a time in my life where I would hate to think that somebody is talking about me behind my back, or that somebody, like, even if I come up on a group of friends and they're like, oh, we was just talking about you. My head was on swivel, baby. Why? What? And that's how Martell was. As soon as Miss Wanda said something to the girl, like it wasn't, he got up from that table, baby. He left that food, whatever was sitting in front of him was getting good and cold. He could not handle the thought that somebody could possibly be talking about him. Baby, he was done. And I'm like, that is never a good thing to have. If you are aware of it, try to break out of it, because people will see that and will constantly play on that with you, and they will win every time because they know they can get you rattled just by doing a little something. Like Bishop said, he could have waited until Wanda, because she was coming back to the table, let her say what she got to say to Melody. And then when she gets back to the table, you can address whatever you felt she did on social media with you and your children. Like, it was too much energy. And it's only going to make him look worse to those developers.
Absolutely. Jazzy Lady, thank you so much for the super chat. Ooh, come on, Bishop, with the firm voice. She likes that voice, Bishop.
How you doing?
Come through. Marcella, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Marcella. Hey, Teacups, please hit that like button. This is good hot tea. Love you all, Marcella. We love you too, sis. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh my God, that energy. Where I come from, men do not get in women's faces like that. That's not a common behavior, and especially an elder woman like that, I don't know. Thick Girl 40, thank you for the super chat. Although Marsu don't care for Miss Wanda J. Blige, but the way he allowed that man get up in her face, talk to her disrespectfully with some Mitchish. Yeah, he acts like a Mish-ish. Yeah. It's very Marsha-like. It was very bitch-made behavior. I don't know who raised Martell, but listen, I was disgusted by it all. I really was. And he need his ass beat for it. I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. He really does. That's how I feel about it. A man should not be up in a woman's face like that. Bitch dried out.
Oh, someone's about to get laid out. Talk to my mom crazy recently. They was talking real crazy. I said, as long as you're walking over there in that corner, but if you come over here, I'm gonna chop your back in half. Seriously about that. That's on everything I love, and I'm like, it's just like, calm down. Just say what you need to say to them and keep it pushing. You don't do all this extra stuff.
Yeah, he was acting like he wanted to fight her. That's how I felt. I felt very threatened with the situation. I had Wanda hauled off and backhanded him. Would she have been wrong? No, I don't think so. 30-plus-year-olds need to stop blaming everything on how they were raised. At some point, they need to try and change, be accountable. Absolutely. Yeah. Is there a divorce final? Not yet. Nope, not yet. I am willing to bet Martell gambles because he lost it all betting on the side chick. You're shaking my head. Yeah.
That was on point.
He wasn't betting on the side chick. He was betting on what he said those old school women should have told Melody, that this is just what men do. He was betting that Melody was going to stay because of the businesses and the money and the pressure that a lot of women, particularly in the South, are made to feel that they are only whole when they are a wife. That's what he was betting on.
Well,
and he lost. He lost the bet. Melanie sure showed him, and I'm so happy she's womaned up, manned up, and found herself in the midst of him trying to kill her esteem, kill her soul. He's a killer, like I said. Didn't I say that? Kissy Howard, thank you so much for the super chat. Hi, loves. Love y'all. When can we expect the Bell Collective? This is a good looking panel, especially you, schoolboy. Ooh, okay. All right. Bell Collective was kind of boring Friday night. We're playing it by ear. If the panel wants to recap it, just, let me know. I mean, comment in the chat. Let us know if you really want us to recap the last episode. It was kind of uneventful, right?
I'm sorry, the show is not doing it for me.
Yeah, we're gonna play it by ear, episode by episode. Something exciting happens, and we'll recap it. But I mean,
it was nothing really to the episode last night. I mean, there were some little points here and there, but then other than that, it was like I fell out of sync with watching. I was like, oh, let's start doing something else.
Yeah. Just to me, more male chauvinism from the South. That's all I got from the episode between is it Latrice? I don't even know.
Latricia,
the one who's trying to do the Fair Street Project, her husband coming home, and Big Red and all of his control issues with the bid. It was just
vacuuming while she trying to work. All this petty stuff. And Antoinette, Big Red gonna be tripping. He gonna give her a flower, not anything for her. It's just a mess.
That might be it, Monica. We might wait till next episode and then just do like mesh them together, because I do want to see what happened when she opened that flower. But every time he comes into a scene, it looks like somebody just met with him off camera and gave him his lines. He literally walks in like, hey y'all, what's going on today? I'm like, what the
I'm telling you, I tweeted that and Carlos King retweeted it. I said, it doesn't seem like Cliff just pop up like a Visa card. He's everywhere you want to be. He just come up in the scene. You be like, where is he at?
Not a Visa card.
Right.
He's never natural.
No, he's always laughing and smirking too. Marcella, thank you for the super chat. Martell's side chick hasn't said anything. Melody has the keys. Martell has dust. No, she's been talking. The side chick's been saying a lot of stuff. Yeah, she's been saying it's but at the end of the day, is nobody's fault but Martell for doing what he did. The side chick wouldn't have anything to say if it wasn't for Martell sleeping with her. So
right.
If she were wise, she would have less to say so that she can hope that Melody is merciful and leaves enough money behind for her to get some child support for her baby.
Right?
Because baby, I got 4 of them. All of these houses and businesses, I would be going for every penny that I'm owed. He might have a little bit left, or as Marcella said, some dust bunnies in them pockets by the time I get done.
But she was trying to be nice and give him grace. He be in the dick instead of just taking it and being humble. In the words of Kendrick, sit down, be humble.
My thing is this: like, we don't care what she's talking about. Honestly, we don't care. We're not checking for it. We're not looking for it. Are you on the show, young lady? I rest my case. We don't care what you have to say. You got a baby by him. Congratulations for being a fool.
Right. Brenda Bates, the side chick, was pregnant. She had the baby in December. She had a boy. So yeah, the baby's here. It's real. And that was the end of the marriage for Melody. It was just too much. All right, y'all. We're going to wrap things up because I know it is Valentine's Day evening and the weather is so bad and we really can't get out and go places like we want to. And I was telling the panels a few places now to have closed due to the bad weather. So you can't even do curbside. I'm pissed. I was looking forward to some steak and some, creme brulee, something good, something different. Yeah,
You trying to switch it up? I see.
A little bit, just a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, you about to make another baby, Monica? Ooh.
Oh, child. Don't get me started. Okay. I wish I could have triplets and just, be done. Because I already have a Brady bunch over here. But I love babies. They are just so sweet and they smell so good and their feet are so cute and stuff. And having a lot of family is a wonderful thing. Let me tell you, The noises, the cries, the happy times, the love, it makes my heart overflow. The love, okay? Nothing like a big family. Schoolboy, what are your plans for the evening? What do you plan to do?
I'm gonna look at the snow globe outside my window, and hopefully call Bay if she still ain't sleep. And chill. We'll do like I'll watch a movie and she'll watch a movie, and we'll just chill, and that'll be like our FaceTime date. Because unfortunately, ain't nobody trying to die for Valentine's Day.
Yeah. It's ice out there. It's really dangerous. Yeah,
It is.
Plaz, what are your plans for the evening, or did you do something earlier before?
Yeah, earlier, me and some of my friends had a little Galentine's Day Zoom. And for the rest of the night, I didn't know that my internet was acting crazy until you all told me. So that would explain why this editing is going so slow. So hopefully my videos will finish editing and I can get those posted to the channel. Other than that, Popeyes has released a Cajun flounder chicken sandwich for the Lenten season. So before it gets, freezing outside, I'm going to mosey on over to Popeyes and see if I can try out this new sandwich. But that's it. I got some hot chocolate in here, and I'm going to watch Housewives of Atlanta so I can see this Ty stripping this Chanel suit.
Oh, Lord, don't remind me that mess is on tonight. Bishop, do you have any plans?
A little bit. Finish this dinner that the Chinese food, and they'll chill a little bit, and then watch my nephew for my sister and my brother-in-law.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So he gonna keep me up all night, laughing and running around. He's 4 years old.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's the best age ever, isn't it? I love it.
He be talking back. He like, Grandma, you said it wrong. It's the Eiffel Tower. He know big words. He was in there listening to me. He's like, this is just ridiculous.
Oh, that is so sweet when they're at that stage of the game. Like, boy, shut your mouth. Christy Howard, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, I really wanted opinions of Antoinette giving passes to Kaylon and how proud Kaylon is of being the granddaughter of the biggest racist. We touched on it. Go look at the previous recap of Bell Collectives. We talked about it. But last night, I was Friday night when I watched the episode, I was proud of Antoinette. See, she says things. She acts kind of ditzy, but she's smart. She said the event was not about Kaylon. So we were Black women that got together to talk about our experiences of being Black. It had nothing to do with Kaylon. But, she made it she said in a very nice way. And she was, you know how she does it. Like I said, everything, as I said, Antoinette is everything Candace should have been.
Right. That is true. And she's sweet about it. Even though she's a little weird, her experience stuff, but she's sweet about it. I'll give her that. But she's a little dumb.
She is very sweet about it. Mary, thank you so much for the super chat. Happy Valentine's Day to the core 4. Love you guys. We love you too. Hearts, hugs, and kisses to you. Thank you. Style, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. Wanda needs to control her tongue and keep people's children out her mouth. # Martell does too much. But I like some Wanda. Like I said, she is the Nene 2.0. I mean, like Bishop said, I got this, Carlos. Let me handle it. You don't need no direction.
She an old school ratchet. Like what the new school ratchet should be striving to be like. Because the old school ratchet know how to keep some class and demeanor about them. And Miss Wanda with that freeze in her hair, she know how to keep the class. She like, I'm Bougetto now. I may be a little ratchet, but I'm a little righteous too. Shout out to Princess.
Miss Leah, that sounds good. Lobster bisque, yummy. Schoolboy, how can they find you? I mean, all of the links to everyone's channels are down in the description box too. So,
you can find me on YouTube at school_boy. You can find me on Twitter at school_boy. You can find me on Instagram on school_boy_2021.
Plaz, how can they find you?
Hey y'all, you can find me on Instagram at scared_of_beautiful and on YouTube at scared of beautiful. Spaces, no periods. Hopefully the first two videos will be up later tonight or today. And also, I'm single, but I know some of y'all out there ain't single, and so I hope you all have a one. And even if you, whatever you are, I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. But if you're not single, I hope you have people to do and things to see tonight. Have fun, kids.
Bishop, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube at The Bishop with 2 E's. And you can also find me on IG and Twitter at Bishop Red Pill, where it's going down.
Going down, you say. Marcella, thank you so much again for the stupid chat. I had Henny, Mila Eve. Oh my God, child.
She is such a freak.
Oh Lord. And then a big tickle.
You better
All
get
right.
it, Marcella.
I know. You know she gets it. You know she gets it in. All right, y'all. Happy Valentine's Day, like Ples said, to all the lovers out there, the non-lovers, single folks, married folks, or the in-between people. Happy Valentine's Day. We love you all. I want y'all to stay safe. Be safe out there because it's dangerous all over the country, not just up north and stuff. So be careful. Teacups, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We love you. Mods, thank you so much for holding down the chat. Everyone that sent in a cash app or a super chat, thank you so much for helping us keep the lights on. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. We will see you. Be safe. Back here tomorrow. I'm recapping RHOA. And then here in the evening with the nightly crew, we're doing a nightly show. And I'm hearing all kinds of things about T.I. and Tiny now. Everything's coming out.
Yeah.
We got some new developments in that case. Okay. So we're going to get into some things. Bye, y'all. Bye.